Imagine standing on a hillside watching a flock of sheep. One suddenly moves and instantly dozens more follow without hesitation. Looks almost like mind control, as if one sheep makes the decision for all. The question is clear: why do sheep follow each other? Is it fear? Is it instinct? Or is it something deeper hidden in their biology? This mysterious behavior has puzzled humans for centuries, and once you learn the truth, it will completely change how you see these animals. Sheep are prey animals, meaning they are constantly on guard against predators. In the wild, survival depends on sticking together. Following each other is not weakness, it's strategy. A lone sheep is vulnerable, but a flock moving together becomes much harder to target. Their instinct to follow is a survival tool written into their DNA. The tension builds when you realize how automatic this behavior is. A sheep doesn't stop to think, should I follow? It simply reacts. One moves, the rest follow in a chain reaction. This reflexive behavior is called flocking, and it's so deeply ingrained that it overrides almost everything else. Sheep follow because not following could mean death. Scientists call this the herd instinct. It's the same force that drives schools of fish to swim together or birds to fly in formation. For sheep, this instinct is especially strong. Their vision is wide but not very sharp, making it easier to stay safe by copying others. When danger comes, following the flock is the safest option. But following isn't only about safety, it's also about leadership. In every flock, there are individuals who take the first step. These leaders guide the direction, and the rest trust them. Leadership in sheep isn't about dominance, it's about initiative. The first sheep to move sets off a cascade of following behavior. Farmers have learned to use this instinct to their advantage. Instead of trying to control every sheep, they only guide a few. Once a few sheep move, the rest follow automatically. This is why sheepdogs are so effective. They control the movement of a handful, and the entire flock responds. The herd instinct makes management possible. Tension rises when you realize this instinct can sometimes backfire. There are countless stories of sheep following each other into danger. In one case, hundreds of sheep followed one off a cliff. Their instinct to follow was so strong that it overrode their sense of self-preservation. Following is powerful but also risky. Sheep also follow each other when grazing. Instead of wandering randomly, they move together as a unit. This behavior ensures they don't stray too far from safety. It also helps them cover ground efficiently, feeding in groups rather than as individuals. Following keeps the flock cohesive and productive. Even lambs learn to follow almost immediately after birth. Within days, they copy their mothers and move with the flock. This early learning reinforces the instinct. A lamb that doesn't follow risks getting left behind, and in nature, being left behind means death. Following is not optional, it's essential from the start of life. Following also reduces stress. Sheep are calmer when in groups. Being alone triggers panic and fear, while being surrounded by the flock brings comfort. This is why isolated sheep often act distressed, calling out and pacing. Following each other isn't just survival, it's emotional security. The herd instinct is so strong that it can override individual needs. A sheep might be hungry or thirsty, but if the flock moves, it follows. Survival of the group outweighs personal comfort. This selfless behavior benefits the flock as a whole, even if it sometimes harms the individual. The tension deepens when you realize how this behavior affects human perception. People often use sheep as an insult, meaning mindless followers. But in reality, sheep follow for intelligent reasons. Their behavior is a carefully tuned survival system, not blind obedience. To dismiss them as stupid misses the brilliance of their instinct. Scientists studying sheep have found that their brains are wired for flocking. Neural circuits in their brains make them hypersensitive to movement in their peers. When one sheep moves, it triggers a cascade of signals that spread through the flock. Following is not just choice, it's built into their biology. Sheep can even recognize individual faces of their flockmates. This allows them to know who they are following. Recognition strengthens social bonds within the group. Following isn't just random, it's based on relationships and trust within the flock. Sheep don't just follow blindly, they follow those they know. In dangerous situations, following can save lives. When a predator approaches, The flock reacts as one, moving together to confuse the attacker. A predator that sees dozens of bodies moving at once struggles to target a single sheep. Following each other creates chaos that protects the group. Farmers also notice that sheep tend to follow the same paths repeatedly. This creates trails across pastures, known as sheep walks. Following in these patterns saves energy and reinforces group cohesion. Even in safe environments, sheep continue to rely on their instinct. Following isn't just survival, it's routine. The tension increases when we see how strong the instinct can be. Even when humans try to lead sheep individually, they often fail. The only reliable way is to guide the flock as a unit. Fighting against the instinct rarely works. Understanding it, however, makes control possible. Some researchers believe the herd instinct in sheep has lessons for humans. Our own tendencies to follow crowds, trends, or leaders may mirror the same biological wiring. Just like sheep, humans often find safety in numbers. Studying flock behavior reveals something about ourselves. So why do sheep follow each other? Because survival demands it, because fear drives it, because evolution shaped them into creatures of unity and cohesion. Following isn't weakness, it's brilliance. It's what allowed sheep to thrive in a dangerous world filled with predators. The next time you see a flock of sheep moving together, don't dismiss them as mindless followers. See them for what they are: masters of survival, creatures whose strength lies in unity. Sheep follow each other not because they lack intelligence, but because their lives depend on it. In their endless following, we glimpse the quiet genius of nature's design.